History. And let me know if my screen is visible and my audio has
Yes,
some
sir.
issue.
Yes. Your screen is visible? Yes. Over to you.
Hello, so here I'm going to present the driving defect-free manufacturing in advanced quality control and process master in automobile wire harness assemblies. So the complexity of the challenge is we are mainly use the wire harness in everywhere, and here we are. I'm talking about the automobile industry. So nowadays the automobile industry has been very complex, and they have made so many changes in the wire harness and their complexity, and the way they want to reduce their complexity, they are make some changes in the wire harness. So here we are trying to understand the nervous systems of the modern vehicles. So here is the vehicle system. The wire harness are intricate the networks of the cables, connectors, terminals that distribute the power and data. What the model the vehicle contains over 2 miles of wiring and 100 plus 1,000 plus connectors. So in the if we talk about the past 4 to 5 years ago, the EV has been introduced in our world. So electric vehicle and ADAS, the advanced driver assistance, exponentially increase the voltage and the data demands. So for to meet that demands, we need some labor. So despite automation, 70% of the wire harness assembly, which we can consider the routing, taping, and inserting, remains the highly manual and raising the risk of the human error. So here you can see the plants of the automobile industry that is keep on running 24 hours, and they have a demand to produce a 60 cars, average 60 cars per minute. To meet that demand, we must have everything in hand and ready, so we can deliver and we can make the car that meet the demands of 1 minute per 60 cars per minute. So single defective connections can have catastrophic consequences downstream. Recalls, we mainly find that recalls due to the some safety concern and some manufacturing issue. To diagnose the intermittent the electrical issues caused by the poor harnesses. Manufacturing is the notoriously difficult, risking the brand reputation and the customer safety. And here next we can talk about the defects of the wire harness. So there are mainly there are so many defects, but there are, I'm talking about the mainly defects which can cause the failure, like crimping failure, routing failure, and insulation damage. Microscopic voids, if we talk about the crimping is like we are connect the crimper to end of the wire, so it can holds the connections. We don't want to tight with the screw and something where else. So that to avoid these kinds of mistake, industry has introduced the terminals and crimping. So here I can show you what is crimp and terminal if I have it. So here you can see the connect, this is called connector. Connector has some crimp like metal parts connected to the end of the wire, so we can crimp with the tool so it can holds the connection, and we insert, it can holds the connector. So this is called the crimping fit. And whenever we so industry has so many crimper and so many connectors based on the connector. We have to, we must have an exact size of the crimping tool. If we don't have a crimping tool right away, it can lose the connection and it can fail at any time. And routing and pinning, the incorrect wire cavity insertion, like I say, the wrong pin, wrong hole, or improper terminal setting leading to the terminal push out and during the final vehicle assembly. And insulation damage is the mainly damage which we can face every time. Like in our household application, we can find some insulation damage, like cuts or severe chafing applied during the taping or routing process that eventually cause the short circuit to the vehicle chassis. So here is the some overview about the cream integrity. The mechanical and electrical heart of the any harness is the terminal cream. It's the way to hold the wire connections to with the metal part to the connector. So if we require the micrograph, the analysis, the destructive cross section of the testing is performed per batch to measure the cream height, width, and compression ratio. Cream force monitor press the sensors, measures the forces curve of the every cream in real time to detect the missing strands or the tape insulation. Advanced process control. In process control, there are some physical laws. The terminal position occurrence and CPA mechanism physically block the assembly process of the terminal, are not fully seated. MES traceability, the barcode sending of the every station links specific materials, tooling, and operator IDs directly to the final harness serial number. And electrical testing, before submitting to the customer, we have to test the wire harness against the higher voltage. If we are testing with the multimeter, it multimeter test against the zero point 0.5 voltage, 5 voltage. But if we want to test against the higher voltage, we find the main wire failure. If we have some minor leakage, we can find with the higher voltage. So in 100% automotive conductivity, high potential, and and resistance testing on completed harness boards before packaging. AI has introduced in many part of the manufacturing, but it depends on how convenience to your production. If it really helps to your production, you can use it. And as of now, in some industry, AI is using, but in some manufacturing, because wire harness is the manual process, 100% manual process, it can find some clause, but we have to improve the quality so we can provide the better production. So defects escape the benchmarking. There are mainly errors due to the human error, the manual inspection only, and standard automated test. We can test against the higher voltage. If we find any leakage in the wire voltage, we can find the short circuit, so we can prevent at the initial stage only. The global standard and compliance is the driving defects 3 manufacturing requires strict non-negotiable adherence to international quality framework. So to produce the wire harness for the automobile industry, we must have to maintain the standards of the standards are set by the IPC and WHMA, which is World Wire Harness Manufacturing Assembly A620. They globally recognize the consist standards for the acceptability of the cables and the wire harness assembly. And these are the standards we are we mu- we must follow to meet the standards of the industries. IATF 16949, the rigid quality management system, standard tailored specifically for the global automotive supply chain. So here, if you find, so the quality is not an act, it's a continuous and rigidly controlled process. So I'm about to end the presentation. Let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nikunj sir, for a nice presentation. Sir, I think you're from the automobile department. And
Yes.
yes, and you have said about the cost concept and about the quality also, because when we go to buy a car, lots of questions come in our mind. okay, whether we should go for this cost, this quality, because now we can see, they are, giving us best car in cheap price also. Like so many things are happening because it's all about the technology. So just I want to know one thing, sir, like about the electric vehicle. Sir, you are from USA or staying in India, sir?
Yeah, I'm in USA.
Okay, sir, great to know. Sir, about the electric vehicles, now it is increasing more in India. About the manufacturing, also it is increasing. Sir, in your country, how like manufacturing of the battery, I think in that place also you have the electric vehicles are there, right? So in that
Yes.
case, like how electric vehicle manufacture the balance between the cost reduction and the with the long-term safety, sir, or the performance of the car, sir, because we are always going with the long term, because in India now they are banning the cars, like after 15 years we cannot, or 10. Like in that case, what is the scenario, sir, in USA, sir?
It's all about the infrastructure the country has it. So in here we are talking about the year they have provided so many infrastructure for the EV vehicles. If I talk about the Michigan, I'm in Michigan. So
Okay,
Michigan does not have enough infrastructure to hold the EV vehicles. If you go to the
okay,
Texas, California, you find the many infrastructure. In here, people still prefer gas vehicle like petrol vehicle. And if you go